McDonald's just got put on blast again, and no, this time it's not because of titty bouncing employees. Now, I know some of you may be new here, and you may be wondering what in the hell I mean by that statement. Well, a couple of weeks ago, fast food employees all across America started posting videos on TikTok of them bouncing their titties and booty cheeks all around the food that they were cooking. It started with Chick-fil-A. And then when the employees who filmed that original Chick-fil-A video went viral, Chick-fil-A fired the entire staff at that restaurant. And then next thing you know, you had Wendy's employees titty bouncing, you had McDonald's employees and managers titty bouncing. There was just titties bouncing everywhere, but not in the good way. Fellas, trust me. These aren't necessarily the kind of titties that you want to see bouncing. These are like overweight, greasy, fast food aunties that are bouncing their sweaty titties all around your chicken nuggets and stuff. It was truly a sight to see. There was even gay dudes participating, shaking their man boobs. It was disgusting. But somehow, some way, what I am about to talk to you guys about right now is even worse. In fact, I would say that it's much worse. Because now McDonald's is getting put on blast because one of their employees was caught on video at work at McDonald's making food, serving customers with his hands in his pants, in his underwear. I'm pretty sure he was like walking around giving people bags of food while literally scratching his balls and not even trying to hide it. It's crazy. It's so gross that I'd rather you guys just see what I'm talking about for yourself instead of trying to describe it. Now, I have the clip right here. Before I play it though, please do me a favor. People often ask, how can they support the channel? You could support the channel in one of these 3 free, quick, and easy ways. Like the video, that helps the channel out a lot. Drop a comment, let us know what you think. Share the video on social media. If you would like to take your support one step further, you could always donate, Cash App, or Super Thanks. Birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks, so if you want to get me something, you could donate, Cash App, or Super Thanks. Always humbly appreciated. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and let's play this clip. And while you watch this clip, I want you to think about all of the McDonald's you may have eaten recently while you watch this clip. Let's roll the footage, and then I'll be right back with more.
A McDonald's employee in Tennessee was fired after customers reported that a black male worker was putting his hand inside his underwear and scratching himself while working. The incident happened at a McDonald's restaurant in Tennessee. Several customers said they saw a male employee repeatedly place his hand inside his underwear and scratch himself while preparing food. Witnesses said he continued the behavior even after noticing people watching him. Customers said they felt sick and immediately filed a complaint with the restaurant. Management reviewed the report and spoke with the employee. The worker was removed from his shift and later terminated for violating basic hygiene rules. The manager also gave refunds to the customers who witnessed the incident and apologized for the situation. Some people online suggested the worker might be a new immigrant who has not fully adapted to workplace expectations in the United States, saying he may not have understood how inappropriate his actions were. Others argued that the restaurant must take responsibility for training and supervision. They said fast food employees need clear instructions on food safety, and if management fails to teach basic hygiene, you may start noticing your fries getting a lot saltier. What do you think about this behavior?
First of all, nothing that traps like McDonald's serve is food. They're eating flesh and blood. They're eating fucking people. They're eating bullshit. Second, did you see that motherfucker's hands? I've never seen hands like that in my life. If I ate at Traps, I wouldn't even want him touching a bag. I wouldn't even want him in the kitchen area. Another thing I noticed is they were watching him walk around with his hands in his pants, but nobody left. They still gonna place their order. You gotta be a junkie to eat from a Trap. I stopped eating from Traps a long time ago, because I just start realizing I don't know these people. I don't know nothing about them. I can't even see what they doing. I don't even know what they're putting in my meal. And Traps like McDonald's, you think you can see what they doing, but all they doing is heating shit up. You can't see what happened before that. There's probably hundreds of hands involved in making all that bullshit before it gets there. And then you know what else? You think this is just an isolated incident? Hell no. This shit is happening every day, all over the country. This is just one story that made it to the internet.
The worst part about all of this to me is how out there in the open he was with it. Like, he wasn't trying to sneak and hide around corners and scratch his balls. He's just walking around like it's normal. And if he's doing that like it's normal, not caring if people see, what is he doing when eyes aren't on him? And why does it take someone filming him for, him to be caught out? The manager, none of the employees there are like, hey, why are you walking around with your hands in your pants? You know what I mean? Like, that should have gotten corrected very quickly. As soon as you see someone walking around like that, you should correct that. In fact, I would take it one step further. If I'm working at a fast food place or any food place and I see someone walking around with their hands in their pants, you got to go, you're fired. You're old enough to know that you don't walk around rubbing on your balls, rubbing on your private parts while working around food, or really anything else for that matter. So I think they should be fired immediately. There should have never been an opportunity for a customer to catch that on video, because that should have been nipped in the bud very, very quickly. But like that guy said, besides the guy recording, there's a bunch of other people standing in line. They're still going to get their food. Hand in his pants and all, they're still going to get their food. They're not going anywhere. And that's part of the problem. People are afraid to call this stuff out. But luckily, I don't know what it is. Ever since that titty bouncing controversy that happened a few weeks ago, people have been going hard on fast food. People have been calling out fast food. I think people finally saw enough. I think people are frustrated by the high prices. They're frustrated by the quality of service, how bad it is these days, how people are so rude, how it takes so long to get your food. And when people see what's happening behind the scenes, it's not that, oh my God, these people are so busy. No, they're sitting around twerking and bouncing their titties while they're supposed to be making your chicken fingers and fries. That's what's taking so long. And these same people who are joyously bouncing their titties on TikTok while at work are rude to you at the cash register when you're trying to order your food, or over the intercom while you're ordering your food. So I think a lot of people had enough of that, and now there's been a spree of people calling out fast food restaurants for how expensive they are, calling them out for stuff like what we just watched in this video, and I'm here for it. That's why I've been helping to call these places out, because someone needs to call these places out. It's absolutely ridiculous. I shouldn't be talking to you guys about titty bouncing videos at fast food restaurants a couple of weeks ago and then be here again today talking about people scratching their balls at McDonald's. Yet here we are because the situation has gotten so bad. But I guess if you want to look at the bright side, this is turning people away from fast food. Like maybe it's a good thing. Maybe if there were more people scratching their balls openly at McDonald's, maybe people would start eating healthier. Maybe this is the inspiration I need to lose weight. I need to eat healthier and never eat anywhere where there's a possibility that someone, was walking around with their hands in their pants. It's so ridiculous. It's so nasty. And I think it says a lot more than just, like, usually when you see something like that, you would say that says a lot about that person, right? You might not know that guy who's digging in his crotch while working at McDonald's, but you don't got to know about him. You don't got to know a lot about him. You've already seen enough, right? I have seen enough. I don't want to be his friend, right? So I think that says a lot about someone personally, But the fact that we have so much stuff like this happening, I think it says a lot about our society overall. Because society 10, 15, 20 years ago wasn't going to accept that. Society now will. So sometimes when you see things like this happening, yeah, I understand judgment ultimately falls on the individual, but think about how far McDonald's has fallen. McDonald's is partially to blame for why that is happening. Society overall is partially to blame for why that is happening. Because somewhere along the line, we decided that behavior like that was at least somewhat acceptable. And it all comes down to the hiring process as well. I understand that when a manager is sitting down interviewing someone, they don't know if they're going to scratch their balls, on the job in the future. But when you're sitting down during the hiring process, some of these people that make it through could definitely be weeded out. And I guarantee you, someone whose mind is so gone that he's walking around with his hands on his crotch while working at McDonald's, I guarantee you that's someone that could have been weeded out, that should have never have been hired in the first place. So it does come down to the hiring process. I understand you're not looking for the best society has to offer when hiring for fast food, but you can damn sure do better than that. But that's kind of where we're at right now. You're paying $22 to get a cheeseburger that used to be $5, and a person who is rude and ghetto and scratching their balls is serving it to you. So enjoy, folks, because that's where we're at in society, unfortunately. And that's why I think it's important to call this stuff out, because things were not always this way, and I don't want things to get even worse in the future or to continue being this way. Unfortunately, we're on track for it to get worse, though. For now, though, I want to hear from you down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.